Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of Pizza Plus Coffee Equals Code. On this episode, we get to talk to tinyBuild, the publisher for Cartel Tycoon, as well as one of the developers from Moon Moose, who does speak Russian throughout the interview, but it is translated by the publisher. So let's go learn about Cartel Tycoon. So I guess first off, for the people watching or listening, what is Cartel Tycoon?
Cartel Tycoon is a video game. Obviously, this is a PC video game. It's a strategy city builder game where you play as a drug lord, drug kingpin. What we're trying to do here is sort of to show you the business of a drug cartel from an economical perspective. So we are not focusing on gang fights and violence and other stuff like this. No, this is purely economical. In our game, you are building production chains and making your business work.
Because we've had roller coasters, we've had zoos. Why cartels for this tycoon game?
Because first there wasn't a game like this before. No one did that, and honestly, people don't usually look at cartels as some sort of business venue. They tend to over glamorizing the life of some drug kingpins, Pablo Escobar and his private zoos and sport cars and everything like this. There is a book by a guy, Tom Wainwright. He's the editor of Richard the Economist. The book is called Narconomics: How to Run a Drug Cartel. He wrote it 5 years ago or something, and it's one of the best sellers. So Leonid, studio head of Moon Moose, he was inspired by this book, and in this book he just proves his point that cartels are very similar to corporations. So you can just talk about cartels and about drug trafficking from economic in terms of free market. So yeah, that's what make it that's from where the idea came up.
Yeah, because there is a fair amount of pop culture at the moment, the show Narcos and stuff like that sort of looking at this sort of drug kingpin stuff, but taking the step to look at it, as you say, from the economical standpoint. How's that helped with, I guess, the mechanics of the game, where it's a lot of number crunching and stuff like that?
Cartel Tycoon is there is one super core mechanic here, because what makes it different from Roller Coaster Tycoon and every other tycoon in the world is that it's a highly risky business, and people do not tend to stay on top for a long time with their drug. So they get killed. And in Cartel Tycoon, you are ruling as a drug lord, and then you get killed for various reasons. You can screw this up in many ways, and you keep going as your successor. Have you ever played Crusader Kings?
No.
Yeah, so it's sort of like Crusader Kings, because in Crusader Kings you are the European feudal dynasty, and here is you are some drug lord dynasty. Rita, show please the cartel pyramid. Yeah, so that's you have only two members of your cartel right now: your boss and your first lieutenant. And while you play and do the quests, you will going to fill the pyramid with other people. And when your boss dies, you just choose the one who is going to be the next one. We have I don't know, maybe 50 or 40 characters in the game, and each one of them is unique. Each one is going to have their own dialogue, and each one is going to be able to become a boss. And they range from... We have a big character diversity, I should say.
Is it all, I guess, unique characters in terms of original, or are there some historical characters in there?
Each of them is character each character in the game is unique, but they're not historical. They're fictional. Some of them might be inspired by certain historical figures, but Cartel Tycoon is a fictional game. We are not trying to recreate anything from real world, like 100% accuracy. It's the setting of the game is 80s, and it's like some country that resembles Colombia, but it's not Colombia. It's a fictional country with fictional cities, and everyone here is fictional. We don't really want to like go and introduce real persons in the game because like this might be the touchy subject.
Is there any features that you'd hoped to include but maybe you couldn't fit in or didn't work well with Cartel Tycoon?
I don't know, Rita, are there any features that you wanted to include?
Это сложный вопрос вообще, потому что я, кстати, не знаю, мы можем говорить о фичах, которые типа, потому что начнут просить другие люди.
Well, it's like there are like we're going to have the game is only starting its way. We're going to have a huge announcement soon, and like we've had demo back in June. The demo was really successful. We grew a little core community, and we are planning to put up on top of this success. And we are going like basically to keep developing the game for a long time, and many features will get there. For example, like many people ask for multiplayer because the game has cities, and you can do a good multiplayer here. We have the ideas, but probably in the future.
И мне кажется, знаешь, когда игра еще не закончена, сложно говорить о том, что мы еще что-то не сделали или уже от чего-то отказались. Да.
It's not finished yet, and when it's going to have a big roadmap ahead of it, then it's like harder to say which you are not doing.
Mm-hmm. Talked about demos, and I know there's another one out at the moment for PAX Online. How's the feedback been from the community for this game?
The feedback has been really amazing. That's one thing that like was much over our expectations. Everyone like, I don't know, I work in tinyBuild as a producer on some project, and Cartel Tycoon is among probably the most positive reactions that I've seen. People play the game, people analyze it. We've had like 3 hours of gameplay in the demo, and there are people who spent like 15 hours analyzing it and trying to make us to complete it in the most efficient way. In fact, we were just like I think yesterday we announced that we are going to have a little competition on Discord on speedrunning of the demo. We'll gift the full game to a few people who are the best in completing it, who will complete it the fastest.
And is that sort of the feedback from the player base useful in crafting what goes into the game or tweaks and changes to it?
Yep. Basically, the teams read us and
мы очень совпадаем с нашими игроками, поэтому.
Yeah, the community so far, what the Hive Mind have been telling them is like really on par with their own thought. So like really no inconsistencies there. Everyone is building a wall of text in Discord about what they should do, and the guys just reply, "Oh yes, that's exactly what we have in mind to plan."
When making a game like Cartel Tycoon, we talked about it a little bit. It's potentially a little touchy subject. Were you worried in any way that there might be negative reaction or negative press because of the subject?
Yes, that's among our concerns as publisher, but we are pretty confident that we are not doing anything too provocative here, and we are not like going for a provocation for the sake of provocation. So we are like we are communicating to it to people, and so far we are good.
And if Cartel Tycoon takes off, it skyrockets. Where do you see it? I guess
hopefully it will.
Yeah, hopefully. Where do you see it in a year from now? Do you see it similar to the style of game, or do you see it evolving and changing?
It's well, it's hard to say. It's like, and you can take it in many directions. Few things that we will be looking if Cartel Tycoon takes off is console ports and multiplayer functionality. The team have really neat ideas for multiplayer, so this might like become a thing of its own if it's good and successful. But we'll see. First, we have to like release the first version of the game.
And that release is coming up later this year, is it?
Yep.
Without
We have not announced. Yes. Yeah, we'll announce it soon. Yeah.
In Cartel Tycoon, can you talk us through maybe from the start of just creating a plantation to shipping it out? So what the life cycle of what you have to do to manage these drugs is?
Well, you start with farm. You have labs, you have warehouses, you have workshops that are doing the packaging with legal goods, and there is like, I really can't. This is like the super basic thing, the one that I'm seeing on the screen right now, but it gets more complicated later in the game. And in the new build, this is like a few months old, and in the new build, it's like, I don't even know yet everything that's that was introduced here. But yeah, basically those are farms and labs, and you have different research path. You can go into cocaine, you can go into weed, you can go into methamphetamine. That's also an option if you are into Breaking Bad sort of thing.
And once you've produced these resources, do you just put them on trucks, put them on planes? How do you, I guess, make money out of it?
That's like the, you have well, your goal in game is to smuggle drugs through the border, because basically you are growing it really cheap in your fictional country and smuggling them to United States, and where it sells really well. And you can smuggle it via airports, via seaports, and via land check. Like, you have to come up with different ways. So yeah, that's sort of basically the game is mostly about building those roads, building those chains, building like figuring out how much cars do you need for how much warehouses, how much transport, like the optimal layout, and the police eventually comes and tries to arrest everything that you have. So you have like sort of like Factorio or something. You have to deal with the challenges that suddenly appear.
I was going to ask that as the next question, because it is illegal activities. The police are obviously going to play a factor. How much of a factor are they in this game? Do they show up every once in a while? Are they an big presence?
I think that Rita already had police visiting her in this session. She has 5 stars. Those are sort of like Grand Theft Auto stars. The first one is local police. The second one is feds. Then you go to DEA, FBI, CIA, and American Army, I think. Yes. US Army. Yeah.
CIA.
So yeah, right now she's at CIA, and like the cars that come for you are different, and the methods are also different. For example, local police are arresting them for your farms and buildings for a few days, and army just like burns everything to the ground.
There's escalating I imagine as you progress through the game, those stars increase.
They increase because of your certain actions, like when you are having the warehouse, for example, that's full of drugs, it starts attracting attention. When you are trying to conquer the cities and conquer the enemy cartels, you also get attention, and you get your terror level increases, starts. So yeah, like basically this is like one of the main game mechanics. The second one that's not in the demo, but it's going to be in the full game, is people's loyalty, because there are like common folk that have your opinion about you that might be different of the opinion of the state. So you can build churches, you can build various buildings for the villagers and for the city. Since so yeah, you're sort of like terror and loyalty there, like kind of interacting with each other, and there are like various cool mechanics here.
So I guess to round it out, if someone's on the fence and they're thinking about having a go with Cartel Tycoon, what's your words to them to sell them on it or to convince them to give it a try?
I think that one of the super important points of Cartel Tycoon and part of its appeal is that it's in a certain way, this is Tycoon. This is anti-tycoon. This is like a tycoon that's really like breaks general expectations, breaks the rules of tycoons and what you expect from it. Because this is a tycoon where you can't really like, the more you play and the more you develop your empire, the more vulnerable you become to police attacks. And like, so it's sort of unique in that way. Yeah, it's even like a roguelike game, but tycoon, but a city builder. So yeah, it's not something that I think like was done before. Not exactly like this. So yeah, pretty unique. I'm not a developer of the games. Yeah, I'm with the publisher, so I can allow myself to not be humble here.
The name of this show is Pizza plus Coffee equals Code, because I come from a software development background, and when you're working on code late at night or on a product, pizza and coffee are the two things that keep you going. They fuel you at night. What fuels you guys late at night when you're working on Cartel Tycoon?
Rita, what fuels you at night? Pizza и кофе?
Хороший сон.
She says that sport and a good sleep. She's like,
yes.
It's on the healthy side of things.
Не, правда, на пицце не выжить.
Yeah, I'm much into coffee myself. Yeah, I can sit all night and drink coffee.
Coffee is like almost a drug. Almost.
It is a drug. In fact, you can grow coffee in Cartel Tycoon. Rita, show it that you can actually grow coffee. There are coffee plantations, and the purpose of the
plantations
is,
in this build.
Yeah, like there are you can build vegetable plantations and coffee plantations and other legal goods, and the purpose is to conceal the drugs within. So you are like building coffee, you are making packs of coffee with cocaine hidden inside, and then you smuggle it over the border, because that's what happening in real life. And sometimes the authorities will figure out that you are smuggling with coffee, and the coffee won't work anymore, and then you'll have to come up with other solutions. For example, like buy gaming consoles, like you can buy those PS5s and conceal the drugs. Okay, obviously not PS5s. I'm not sure what consoles was in fictional Latin America in the 80s, so those are fictional consoles.
Yeah, if people want to start their own drug empire in-game, of course, where can they go to get more information about the game?
Cartel Tycoon is a cautionary tale for kids who want to become drug lords, because it warns them not to. There are other lines of career.
Is there social media or a website they can go to get links and stuff like that?
Yes, Cartel Tycoon on Twitter and Facebook, and carteltycoon.com and discord.com/Cartel Tycoon. Just join us everywhere if you want to talk to devs and more about the game.
Thanks a lot for taking time out of your day, you guys, and having a chat.
Thank you. Hope it was interesting.
It was.
Thank you.